For MSO News Sports, I'm Tim Kearns, and this is Year 4 with Jeff Hutton and Panther Preview, brought to you by the Gloria Food Store. Jeff, big win on Saturday against Gloucester, the kind of win I'm sure you've been looking forward to for the last 3 years.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of tradition and history with Beverly Gloucester. I don't know exactly how many years, but I know as an assistant we had a lot of battles with Gloucester, and they were the measuring stick. And it's a good tradition, and no matter what the records are the first week, it's always great to get a win. And it's going to be tough because the emotions are going to be high, intensity is going to be at the highest it would be because everyone's excited to play the first game, and both teams I thought brought their A game. And it was an awesome high school game.
Yeah, the opening 2 drives, you guys came down and scored, and Gloucester responded right away, and everybody had to be thinking this could be a long day of offense because neither defense at that point seemed to be able to stop the other, and you guys picked up the intensity. Gloucester played tough throughout. They just kept shooting themselves in the foot sometimes, but you guys managed to maintain the course, and of course you had that back-breaking touchdown in the end, the pick six, that really kind of sealed the deal. But again, Gloucester kept coming back.
Yeah, the good thing was every time they made a big play, we matched it, and then up the ante. They had a the big run. And then they came back with the toss pass that we completely got fooled on, but we didn't give up, and the kid from the other side of the field chased it down, caused the fumble, and then recovered the fumble. That would have been Gloucester in the red zone right before the half, and if they score there, it could be 14-12, 14-14. It's a little different ball game, but every time they made a big play, we were able to match it and then go up one.
What's the biggest difference between this year's team starting out, I know it's only one game, and teams in the past?
I think it's just the comfort level and the confidence I think the kids had coming in. I think we had a lot of young guys and guys that were playing not their great position or their true position, but because of necessity and lack of numbers and depth, they had to hop in and play a different role. And I think having Danny Pierce, he got 4 games of valuable experience at the end of the season last year. And then he played the starting point guard on the basketball team. And he was a starting second baseman. So you got a kid who's the moment isn't too big at that position, and it shows. And the kids follow him. The kids lead. He's a great leader. He's one of our captains as a junior. So they always feel like as long as Danny's there, we've got a chance. And that makes everyone play a little bit faster and a little bit harder.
He certainly looked calm out there, and his throws were spot on all afternoon. I mean, he was dead accurate on almost all of his passes.
Yeah, he was over 62% on the day, and for a high school quarterback, what more can you ask for? You're 60%, especially in our offense where we want to be more run heavy. I remember Roger Day would always tell us if we can complete 65 to 70% of our passes a game, we'll win every time. So
yeah, and at that point you're only throwing 10 times again, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, and out of those 7, you got a chance to score 4 or 5 touchdowns because when you run the ball well, everybody comes up and creeps up, and then that's what was so great about the game is we both run the same offense.
Yeah.
So whatever we did to take advantage of something, they knew, so they were able to kind of counteract. It was a pretty good chess match going throughout the game.
Your guys ran especially hard once contact was made. They broke a lot of tackles, got the yards after contact. Not so much yards after catch, but yards after contact, which is critical.
Yeah, well, I think that starts in the summer. Right, Tim? Our guys had great attendance in the weight room. They put up great numbers, and when you're physically strong, that has confidence. And then you do it in scrimmages, and then now you do it in a game. It's oh, football's kind of easy when I do what I'm supposed to do,
Yeah. I was down the end of the back of the end zone, down by the concession stand, not why I was there, though. And at halftime, I watched something really small, but to me it was really major. All the kids came by and they smacked the petting on the goalpost stanchions.
Yeah, they every once in a while the teams do that, but every team has their own thing.
Right.
And that's their thing. And I think you could tell that this group is definitely come together faster than some of the other teams. Some of the other teams took a couple weeks to get together, or sometimes they didn't come together at all. But these guys made a point in the offseason that if we're going to win, if we're going to get this thing going in the right directions, we got to do it together. So they've done a lot of stuff, as teammates. A lot of guys piling in the cars, going to wherever, all-you-can-eat pancake night or wherever at the IHOP. But I don't think that happened as much in the past. So
yeah.
And that's where it all starts. If you, like we tell them, if you want to preach the word family when you break the team down, then don't just say it. You got to mean it.
Yeah, and what I noticed was every kid, sometimes they'd even stutter step to make sure they got in line to make contact with that padding. And I was like,
yep,
that says something.
Yeah, they're starting their own little tradition, and it's a great thing.
Yeah. Who's coming up this week?
So we got Haverhill Friday night up in Haverhill. They're big, they're tough like they always are, and they had a scrimmage last week, so this will be their first game. So they'll have all the excitement and hopefully some of the jitters that we had. And I think, you see what type of, I remember Dan Bauer, you say it all the time, that you see what type of team you are from week 1 to week 2. Like, what improvements can you make? Because anyone can win week 1 with emotion, excitement, and a couple big plays, but what can you do once you get the tape, and how can you improve? So week 2 is going to be a big test for us.
Yeah, and I remember Valley Haverhill is always, like you said, the big, the tough.
Yeah.
The
quarterback's been a 4-year starter. He's as big as half my lineman. And he's about 6'3", 240. He can run, he throws, he throws a great RPO game. No huddle. I think he's probably the offensive coordinator, at least it looks like on film, because he's directing traffic. It looks like Tom Brady running the 2-minute drill. So we got a challenge this Friday night.
You hate to look down the road throughout the season. How many do you think you can bag? Or do you not even want to say?
We always go, the goal is winning record, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think that's a realistic goal. I think we've got some, but we're 1 injury away. We lost Roman Sullivan, like he's going to get checked this week, but it doesn't look good, and that's a shame for that kid because he tore his right ACL last summer in workouts, and now it's his left, that's what they think it might be, but, he gets his MRI later this week, so we're hoping that's maybe something not as serious, and he can get some playing time because he missed all last year. He missed time as a sophomore, and it would really stink because nobody worked harder in the offseason to get ready to play.
Well, you're just going to have to make the playoffs to give him some more time.
Let's hope.
All right, Coach, thanks a lot. That's session 1 for Panther Preview for MSO News Sports. I'm Tim Kearns.